All right, what's good all day, fam? We're back for another night, all day. No days off. The streak continues. We're just gonna kick it real quick. So, want to just pull up some information, some news, some stuff we can talk about real quick. I don't plan on being on here too long. I got some stuff to do, but I want to keep the streak going. So, so according to this little mini article, it says 26, almost 2 weeks removed from the conclusion of the NFL King Sportsbook. It's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks seems like it's been longer. DraftKings Sportsbook released their season win totals for 2026 earlier this week. And the Bolts are one of the 9 teams that are currently at 10.5 wins, the highest number on the board. They are tied with the Ravens, Bills, Packers, Chiefs, Rams, Eagles, Seahawks, and 49ers at that mark. No team in the league had a win total at 11 or over, something that doesn't happen often. A lot is left to be decided in the offseason that will surely swing things like free agency and an NFL draft, but the early indications are the Chargers will be one of the teams battling near the top. Okay. Let's continue on. What we got? 10 prospects to watch at the 2026 NFL Scouting Combine. We got one of the biggest events of the pre-draft process is set to kick off in the let's see. It's kick off in less than a week. The 2026 NFL Scouting Combine. Chargers general manager Joe Ortiz and head coach Jim Harbaugh will be among the many attendants, along with numerous other Bolts coaches, scouts, and front office members as the NFL prepares to meet in Indianapolis. More than 300 college prospects will be there as well as teams get an up-close look at potential draft options roughly 2 months away from the 2026 NFL Draft in Pittsburgh. Who could the Chargers have their eye on with the 22nd overall pick? Let's see. Let's see what we got. We'll probably all of whom have in alphabetical order and include rankings and a quick analysis from the NFL's networks, Daniel Jeremiah and Dane Brugler of The Atlantic. Defensive lineman Caleb about him. I've been hearing a lot that the Chargers may go ahead and pick him up, scoop him. I wouldn't be mad if we get him. I mean, this guy, he's a tank. And I didn't watch much college. I didn't watch much college football last year. Most college football I watched last year was the second half of the national championship game. But I've heard a lot about this guy. We went over some stuff with him a few videos ago. We watched some tape on him a little bit, and he looks good. So he will be awesome for our defensive line. I can see him and Tier Tart being two forces in that interior. So Banks missed most of the 2025 season because of an injury and is still learning how to utilize his talent. So his ceiling is very high, but it's hard to find a 6'6", 335-pound athlete with 35-inch arms and Banks level ability. Teams like seeing him get better and better throughout Senior Bowl week. So this guy is just improving, and he has a high ceiling. So we don't really know what his full potential can be, and that's a guy for his size and his that's scary. If he's on the draft board, the Chargers definitely is going to have a hard time passing on him. Now, I mean, if he's not the best player available, then obviously you know what's up. So Jeremiah is ranked. So he's ranked at number 39. Bank is a tall, long, and athletic defensive tackle. His 2024 tape was impressive, but he played just 3 games in 2025, missing time with a broken foot. As a pass rusher, he displays a lot of twitch in his feet and hands. He can win with a quick club move or collapse the pocket with power. So this guy, he's also versatile. He has range. He could play inside and he could play outside. And with that size, that's crazy. Yeah, this guy is an animal. So and with a defensive tackle, man, you got it. Like defensive tackle is like the center, man. Like if you can hit on a defensive tackle, that's just the anchor of your entire defense. that you could just build around that, and you could do so much with that because if you have an elite, dangerous defensive tackle as a defensive coordinator, that just it just opens up so many more room and opens up so many more doors and windows for your defense to really do other things because you have a dependable defensive tackle that can pass rush, that can rush the quarterback, that can fill the gaps, that can defend the run. That's a disruptive defensive. That's a disruptive defensive lineman. I mean, that's what made Aaron Donald so dominant. I'm not saying this guy will be Aaron Donald by any means by imagination, but who knows? I mean, he has the potential. So he's frustrating to watch against the run. He's very disruptive, but struggles to finish with reduction. He's frustrating to watch against the run. So he's not okay. So he can win with the quick club move or collapse the pocket with power. He's very disruptive, but struggles to finish with production. He's frustrating to watch against the run. He flashes knock back power on the front side and range on the back side. However, there are long, dry stretches where he hangs on blocks or gets washed down the line of scrimmage. Overall, Banks has a lot of talent, but his injury history and inconsistency could slide him down the board on draft day. So he's inconsistent and okay, so I was kind of wrong on his run stopping. So what? I mean, if we can get him being more consistent and getting to out the run a lot better, we can really he could be a great player for us. So we got offensive lineman Chase Benzontis out of Texas A&M. It's a well-rounded skill set, athleticism, strength, and ability to create movement. He keeps ability and blockage leverage, but his contact balance and consistency point to him being a successful pro sooner than later. Thick, powerful guard prospect with short arms. Okay. Cornerback, Brandon Cease out of South Carolina, or that's how you pronounce his name. He's an interesting prospect. He has no trouble staying hip to hip in man coverage. So he can play man to man. I love corners that can play man. Because of his explosive athletic talent, his vertical and 40-yard dash at the combine should be exceptional, but there are holes in his game that create some doubt about his pro transition. He's ranked number 31. He is Sis is a fast, twitchy cover corner. He primarily lined up outside of South Carolina. He usually played with his back turned to the sideline, allowing him to see through the right out to the quarterback. He plays with vision, which allows him to see his elite speed, uses elite speed to close space and make plays on the ball. He's a loose, fluid athlete. He's not physical in press coverage, though. He carries his hands low and relies on his quick feet to mirror and match. I like to see him play with more aggression against the run. He gave up some plays in the games I studied, but it appeared to be more of a focus issue than a physical limitation. Sis will likely rise on draft boards through the spring because of his athleticism and speed. So he's highly athletic, okay, but he's not as physical. So or he's not that good against the run. So I don't know if Jim Harbaugh is going to like that. Now, I heard a lot about this offensive lineman, a la Vega Loane, I guess you could say, out of Penn State. I heard a lot about him. Number 13 on Burglar's rank. Loane both looks and plays the part. He is quick out of stance and pass protection and sports a stout base and commanding hands to anchor his spot. As a run blocker, he generates explosive power from his core to dig out defenders on drive down blocks and flashes the competitive temperament to finish. He has a long NFL career ahead of him. So he's similar in ways to Steve Avila, number 36 pick in 2023. So number 11th player on Jeremiah's rank. Oweh was a dominant presence at left guard for the Nittany Lions. He has a thick, apportioned build in place with outstanding strength power in the passing game. He can bend his knees to redirect as he attached to defenders. He will occasionally take a loss against speed, but he handles power with ease. He is aware on stunts and games. In the run game, he latches on, runs his feet, and always looks to finish. He had an epic battle against Oregon defensive lineman Amari Washington in Penn State's double loss to the Ducks last season. Oweh has tremendous upper torque to toss defenders out of the hole. He takes proper angles to the second level and can adjust in space. Overall, I love Oweh's temperament, toughness, and ability to anchor. He's been an impact starter from day one. So far, he seems like the best player for Jim Harbaugh to draft. And then you got defensive lineman Caden McDonald. With his power, McDonald is at his best as a run stuffer. He resets the line of scrimmage with his initial burst of power. Then attacks blocks from a leveraged position. He will require time to develop more of a pass rush identity. but his dominant run qualities will make him immediately useful for an NFL team. Okay. He has excellent size and strength for a defensive tackle. He's at his best against the run. He can press out blocks and disengage with violent torque. Very firm, stout. He's more of a steady force and a dynamic playmaker who will provide value on rundowns, but he needs to develop a better plan of attack as a pass rusher. Edge TJ Parker, Clemson. And he's at his best when he finds a runway and uses his get off forward lean, his length to drive blockers downward into the laps of quarterbacks. His speed to power attack is formidable, but NFL blockers will be expecting it. How he develops his setup and secondary rush will determine his pro ceiling. It's an intriguing edge rusher with the versatility to slide inside. He had a monster 2024 campaign, 11 sacks, beside his productive drop off the past season and 5 sacks. Okay. He can be a little better against the run. He can generate knockback power at the point of attack, and he's adept at keeping opponent's hands off his frame. He wasn't as quite as impactful in 2025, but he was dominant in 2024. Then you got offensive lineman Emmanuel Pregnant out of Oregon. He's massive, well proportioned blocker. Okay. And you got offensive lineman Caden Proctor out of Alabama. Thanks to his physical traits, Proctor flashes dominance when he plays on time. He has the size and movement skills to engulf defenders when in rhythm as a pass blocker. However, he struggles to negotiate space and understand his leverage, and it is a similar story in the run game. Talent isn't an issue. If his discipline can catch up to his physical ability, we'll be cooking with gas. Okay. He's an enormous tackle prospect. He has excellent feet and agility for a big man and pass protection. He has an explosive first step and keeps defenders off his chest. He can sink his way and stall bull rushers. He will occasionally react late off the snap, which has led to some short corner losses in the run game. He can uncoil his hips in contact and displace defenders. Okay. Oh, this is guy. So we heard a lot about him. Tight end Kenyon Sadiq out of Oregon. He's big. That dude's big, man. He's pretty big. Looks big. At loom of Bruce Feldman's freak list, Sadiq is a brawny athlete with a unique combination of explosiveness and play strength. He brings both short era quickness and long speed to the position, and he's able to outpace the field. He needs continued technique work as a blocker, but competes with outstanding physicality to latch, drive, and win his assignment. He has the potential to be a mismatch creating weapon in the NFL. He's ranked number 21 on Jeremiah's rank. Sadiq is a short, muscled up tight end with outstanding speed and athleticism. At Oregon, he primarily aligned attached or in the slot, but he also saw some reps out wide and in the backfield. He is very explosive in his release, and he's able to separate vertically on seam, wheel routes. He excels on quick screens where he can display his dynamic run after catch skills. He needs to improve his dependability as a pass catcher. There were too many easy would-be catches that were dropped during the 2025 season. I heard about that. He does have some issues with dropping the ball. I love his competitiveness and tenacity as a blocker. He latches on, runs his feet, and works to finish. Overall, Sadiq lacks height, so he's not that tall and consistent hands, but he is a versatile, explosive weapon with toughness. So those are things that you can fix, and height is not a big deal, really. I mean, if he can get him to catch the ball better, and if he's chiseled like they say he is, and if he's as athletic as they say he is, you can do some damage with them. The defensive lineman Peter Woods out of Clemson moves with big man twitch and the foot quickness to elude blocks in tight quarters. However, for a player with his explosive traits, he doesn't have many quick wins on his tape and needs to learn how to diversify his run approach. His motor and scheme flexibility are floor-raising qualities. He is a thick, square defensive tackle prospect with fabulous quickness and violent hands. As a run defender, he can hold the point of attack with blockers or line up over his nose. Okay. He struggles when facing down blocks as he can get right down the line of scrimmage. As a pass rusher, his lack of length isn't an issue. At times, he lets blockers get into his chest and stall his charge. When he can land his hands first, he pushes the pocket. He also flashes a nasty club rip move. Overall, Woods isn't a steady, consistent player game in, game out, but his flashes are very intriguing. Okay. So let's read this real quick, and then I'll probably be done for tonight because it can't be on here too long. It says why Chargers Super Bowl prediction. Okay, let's look at this. A panel of 11 ESPN NFL experts wasted no time submitting their early predictions for the 2026 NFL season early this week. That included their projected Super Bowl matchup next year, MVP winner, and a big 2026 prediction heading into the 2020 heading into this next season. The Chargers are right in the mix of their predictions, even without having making any free agent or draft moves yet, as their recent coordinator hires have experts believing in the Bolts. Yeah, we got some great hires, man. ESPN NFL analyst Seth Water was among them as he had the Chargers emerging victorious over the Packers. Okay, let me find out in the Super Bowl next year. That'll be great. Water wrote, am I falling for the Chargers in offseason just like we do every year? Sure, but this time will be different. The 2025 Chargers' biggest weakness, the offensive line, already has a built-in solution with their two excellent tackles, Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater returning to health. Add Mike McDaniel as offensive coordinator, and I find myself truly believing. I completely agree. The hiring of Mike McDaniel to be the team's offensive coordinator has a lot of pundits buzzing, tabbed as one of the best overall hires of the cycle so far. It is a big reason why pairing him with quarterback Justin Herbert and the offense has the Bolts as a popular team in early. The Chargers were one of the 6 teams that made multiple appearances in the Super Bowl prediction portion, as ESPN Aaron Schatz had them playing their crosstown rival in next year's big game. That's what I did. I have them playing against the Rams next year. That's my early Super Bowl prediction, and the Chargers coming on top. So Schatz wrote, that's right. I'm predicting a fight for Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium. The 2 home teams. The Rams were number 1 in offense this season, and offense is more consistent than defense. The Chargers will get back their offensive tackles and added Mike McDaniel to coordinate the offense. Plus, they have a ton of cap space to address season needs. Super Bowl predictions aside, some expect the Chargers to go even further than just a 3rd straight postseason appearance. ESPN's Mike Tannenbaum's big prediction for next season is the Bolts capturing the division for the first time under coach Jim Harbaugh. Tannenbaum wrote, the Chargers will take a big step and win the AFC West. With offensive tackles Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater healthy and Mike McDaniel bringing some energy, Justin Herbert and company can get over the hump and win the division. There's plenty of moves and time in the offseason for the Chargers to bolster their odds heading into 2026. But one thing for sure is they have a lot of excitement going forward. I'm telling you, man, like, let's get it, right? Please don't sit in your hands. All right, let's see. It's a mock draft. We'll look at this mock draft real quick. I don't feel like going into that mock draft. But yeah, that's it we got for right now, man. I wanted to jump on here, just talk a little bit, give you a little bit of football news, Chargers news. Let's see. Hold on. Let me look and see if there's anything on NFL.com. Okay, this is worthy to talk about. Two things. I think 2 things is kind of major news today. So, rest in peace to Randall Moore. I pretty God I'm pronouncing his name right. Rondo or Randall. Rondo. I'll just say Rondo Moore. I hope. Yeah. Please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing his name. But he played for the Vikings, and sad, man, what happened to him. He was found dead Saturday night in Indiana, authorities said. He was 25. I don't know what's going on with this. Sad. Floyd County coroner Matthew Tomlin did not share additional details of Moore's death, but said there was no threat to the public and an autopsy would be conducted Sunday. The NFL released the following statement regarding Moore's death. The NFL is deeply saddened by the tragic passing of Rondale Moore. Our thoughts are with Rondale's family, friends, and teammates during this difficult time. The Vikings said in a statement they have spoken with Rondale's family to offer our condolences and the full support of the Minnesota Vikings. We all have also been in communication with our players, coaches, and staff, and will make counseling and emotional support resources available to anyone in need. Our thoughts are with Rondale's family and friends during this devastating. What happened? Like, sad, crazy. He was a receiver and return specialist drafted in the 2nd round out of Purdue University. Spent his first 3 years in the NFL with the Arizona Cardinals. In 2024, he dislocated his right knee during training camp with the Atlanta Falcons, and he never played for them. He had more attempted to make a comeback with Minnesota in 25, but was injured while returning a punt in the first exhibition game. I am devastated by the news of Rondale's death, Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell said in a statement released along with the team. While Rondale had been a member of the Vikings for a short time, he was someone who came to know well He was someone we came to know well and care about deeply. He was a humble, soft-spoken, respectful young man who was proud of his Indiana roots. As a player, he was disciplined, dedicated, and resilient despite facing adversity multiple times. This injury sidelined him throughout his career. We are all heartbroken by the fact he won't continue to live out his NFL dream, and we won't all have a chance to watch him flourish. University of Louisville head coach Jeff Brom, who coached more at Purdue, called him an ultimate competitor who wouldn't back down from a challenge. We all love Rondell. We loved his smile and his competitive edge that always wanted to please everyone he came in contact with. Yeah, it's messed up, man. I don't know. I wonder what happened. It's messed up, really messed up. But let's go to some kind of, like you should say, better, like, I don't say better news, but the terms on 3-year, 24 million contract. Javonte Williams found a home in 2025, and now he's cashed in. Oz Cowboys and Williams have agreed to terms on a 3-year, 16 million guaranteed. NFL Network insider Ian Rapper Saturday. Dallas announced the extension shortly thereafter. The extension comes a few weeks before Williams could have been able to negotiate with other teams in free agency starting March 9th. And it follows in for the ball carrier. Cool. With Dallas as somewhat of an afterthought last season, following a downturn at the end of his time with the Broncos. He was a 2021 second-round pick. Williams looked to have the makings of an explosive feature back as a rookie, but a knee injury cut short in his 2022 campaign and seemed to sap him of his explosiveness in the next 2 seasons in Denver. So he signed a 1-year, $3 million proven deal with the Cowboys and promptly proceeded to do so, having rushed for 1,287 yards and 7 touchdowns. In 2023 to 2024, he nearly eclipsed that rushing total in a single season, wearing the star. He rushed for 1,201 yards and 11 touchdowns, doubling his career rushing touchdown total with a career high 4.8 yards per carry. He also added 35 catches for 137 yards and 2 more scores, continuing to be sure-handed outlet as he has his entire career. His output provided the Cowboys with a balanced offensive attack the team hadn't enjoyed for several years, making him a valuable piece to lock down heading into 2026. So still only a few months away from his 26th birthday, Williams comes at a reasonable bargain for Dallas. His $8 million annual average salary places him tied for 16th with the Bears' DeAndre Swift among running backs, just above former Cowboy Tony Pollard's $7.3 million with the Titans. Now that Williams has been taken, all eyes now will obviously turn to the Cowboys, how they approach with their big name free agent of George Pickens, what they would do with that. And obviously that everybody wants to know if George Pickens is going to stay in Dallas. For Dallas' sake, they better hope so. But we're gonna find out. And you all know I'm gonna keep you updated with everything. I am going to be on here every day or every night. Either one. Just gonna make sure all day, no days off. I was trying to decide which one I was gonna do. It's gonna be both. Which name I wanted to choose. I'm not gonna change my whole brand. I'll just keep it at all day, but the slogan be no days off. Just no days off all day. All day, no days off. So I thank you all so much for watching. If you want more, you know what to do. You know where to find me. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll be back ASAP. Peace.